What's up, traders? Another episode of Trader Talks. Today, we're joined by Nick, one of our funded traders coming from Russia. Nick has requested over $3,000 in a single payout, and we'll be paying that out at the end of the video, just to show the transparency with which we operate at Mubite. So stay tuned and watch until the end. Okay, so thank you very much, Nick, for joining us today. We're excited that you are part of the Mubite team and part of the Mubite traders. And we'd like to start with just one simple question. Let's start at the very beginning. And so how did you get into crypto trading in general?
So recently, some events in the world have led me to the thinking about having some financial freedom. So this was the first step for me to be able to start my journey in crypto. So after the little time, after maybe 3 months, after I make my first crypto deposit, I tried to trade a little bit because I have some fellows who do the same things and have some good advice for me. After that, I step by step slowly learned how to trade, how to use futures, how to use crypto exchange platforms, finding information, etc., etc., etc. So now, after 2 years of experience, I think about myself like I'm a trader. So that's it. Long story short, yeah.
Okay, so from what I'm hearing, you've been trading for approximately 2 years. And you started off at like, just depositing, going the traditional way, investing money into crypto, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And so trading and, crypto prop trading in general, it is a bit of a different thing rather than going with prop firms. So one thing that I'd be interested in is not only like, obviously you've been trading and crypto trading, and we'll get into that down the line, but how did you actually move from normal traditional trading into prop trading? And why did you give chance Mubite, and how did you hear about Mubite in the first place?
I didn't even know about the existence of things like prop firms. I think that time to time I'm just making a little bit research, education myself for knowing new things in crypto. So it's may sound funny, but one of my evening conversation with ChatGPT led me to to the thing that prop firms exist. So I asked the ChatGPT about prop firm and if it's possible to trade crypto with prop firms, because I not consider myself like a traditional trader within something gold or metals or something like that, because my experience in trading bordered just on the crypto assets.
Right.
So after I saw the list of companies that can provide me with these things, I start searching about that, and after that I stopped on Mubite. This is my first experience. So it was really interesting experience, and answering the question why I choose Mubite, because I have some experience in creating the websites, and the website of Mubite, at least for me, seemed as most convenient. Good. I really liked it, and of course I checked the Trustpilot use. I checked the Reddit threads about the Mubite. So I didn't want to face some not transparent rules, something about that. And after researching, I decided that Mubite is the best way for me to try it on the first step. And one important thing that I looked upon it, because in the rules section you have you demand not more than 3% risk per trade, and though you have no consistency rule, you have a Mubite rule that need to be done.
Underscore?
Yeah. That need to be done on the finish line. For some users, maybe that might be a stop sign. But for me, it was like I had more trust after I learned that you have some rules that can separate the non-consistent traders from real traders. So I thought that I can be sure that if I can pass the challenge, I finally will get my payouts and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much, Nick, for this. Obviously, one of the biggest issue that you face in the prop firm industry is the payout denial stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously, another thing, like the funded score and max risk per trade are just things to promote good trading habits in general. You don't enforce them in the early phases, although that could also be a thing. But then we kind of, the people that get into the funded stages and funded accounts then become demanded to be consistent at some level. Anyway, so I guess a lot of traders watching this know how it feels like to not get a payout, and we kind of got our understanding of what was your experience with Mubite. So how would you describe this experience in like 3 words with Mubite so far? Just 3 simple steps, maybe.
Consistency, transparency, easy to use.
All right, perfect. So we'll send that to our UI UX dev team.
Okay,
That's the website's okay. Yeah, but if there's anything, obviously let us know. Anyways, now let's get into what we all want to hear, and that's how you managed to make your first profits. I think you've right now have about $3,000 of profit that we're going to pay out at the end of the video. And then just like to know a little bit about your strategy and what's behind this kind of performance. You've, from what I've seen, you've only really executed about 20 trades to get to this stage. So it's quite, it's admirable that you don't take too many trades. You take few trades and you kind of measure up your risk and all that stuff. So if you could walk me through your strategy and how you kind of execute things from the strategy perspective.
Yeah, I will try to be short. Sorry for my English for the first.
Your English perfect, mate.
Okay, thank you. So first thing first, I suppose that this result that was on my Mubite account, not fully mirroring my overall experience in trading, but I think it was really lucky weeks for me because in my dashboard, that was really high percent of the good trades. On the distance, my percent is lower. So I would like to say that my percent of good trades is around 55%, 55, 60.
So the win rate ratio is 55%.
Okay, so maybe I may be mistaken because...
No, I'm asking.
Yeah. Around that. So my trading strategy is really, I would say, conservative because I know about scalping, I know about low liquidity assets and everything, etc. But I had a lot of experience with myself, with my psychology, especially about the stop losses and ability to cut the risks, ability to stop the trades when they are in minus,
Right.
So I lost some sort of money on my experience in that. And after that, I decided to trade really conservative. I believe that trader need to do what he does the best. I think the best thing that I can do is trading in trend line. Seeking for level breakouts, order block breakouts. I trading assets like Solana, XRP, like Ethereum, like etc. So assets that connected to movement of Bitcoin.
Okay. So, I've seen that you've traded quite a lot of XRP. I've seen that you've traded quite a lot of Solana, a little bit of BNB and ADA. Some Litecoin as well. And I've seen that mostly you focus on XRP and then you have minutes to hours for your entries. So like you hold the position for about, minutes to hours. And, you were looking for momentum entries after movement. So usually this copies the Bitcoin movement. And if that copies the Bitcoin movement, you swing with the Bitcoin in the same direction, or what is the kind of a strategy here?
So this kind of strategy, first of all, of course, these assets have a lot with Bitcoin, but if you trade a long time with asset, how market maker, move the asset when the Bitcoin going down, going up. So XRP and Solana is my favorite assets after 10th of October because I can...
We all know what happened back in October.
Yeah. I can see how market makers push the price with the Bitcoin or do not let the price goes really low with Bitcoin. And after that, I see on CoinGlass that it's big order block from, for example, I believe that it's market maker. So I can see that I can expect some strong movement with Bitcoin.
Yeah,
If I
pretty-
see that assets in my mind can go with Bitcoin inside the trend line, between the lines, between the order blocks, I can go with Bitcoin. So if I believe that Bitcoin going up, for example, and I see that market maker pushes XRP, with that I can go in XRP. Why I trading, for example, XRP but not Bitcoin? Because my timings on graphic is 5-15 minutes, and I'm trying to trade between the lines in a day.
15-minute chart.
Yeah. And I try to trade between lines in the day. So Bitcoin not always give me some percent that I want to see in my profits, but
Right.
XRP can do that. Solana can do that. Yeah, and if I believe that Bitcoin, for example, for today goes up, I starting to search my enter. So I seek the levels, the order blocks, and I try to foresee if it will be a breakout or it will be mirroring. And after that, I decided to go long or short. I'm trying to not do short trades. I'm trying not to do 15 minutes, 5-minute trades. Most of my trades is around more than 1-2 hours.
Okay, so you'd consider obviously yourself a swing trader, and looking at, from what I understood, you're looking mostly at what the market maker might be doing in this very instance, where the liquidity is, where the volumes are, and then you're moving from there onwards. Is there any chance you could show this to us on chart, or would you be not able to?
I have opened my Bybit account, but I not on TradingView. I'm just can show you how I do, for example, on Excel.
I think everyone will be delighted to kind of hear, like, get a grip of what a successful strategy might look like.
So my enter was around here, So my trade was long, XRP long.
Right.
Why I entered? So we can see the day trend line between these levels. And of course, we need to look at Bitcoin in that fraction, but not now.
Okay.
But what interesting about this trade is this line.
Downward momentum, yeah.
Yeah. So why this line is interesting for me? Because here I already entered the long position right here before the trade that I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I believe that this downtrend line will be breakout, and I was right. But after short breakout, it was low retest. And here I closed my first trade because it just didn't work. But after that, I had a strong belief that the price will go up after it facing this low trend line.
Okay.
So after I make sure that this low trend line will not break out, here around 11 o'clock, I entered my long position. We can see that on 15 minutes, we had a new trend line. If we move to 30 minutes on 1 hour, these two trend line just will be one trend line.
Okay.
Okay, so here we have a breakout that I'm waiting for. And after this breakout, somewhere around here, I closed my trade. Why I closed my trade and want to wait longer? Because, as I said, I'm trading between the lines of a day trend.
Okay.
And of course, after that, I expect that price can face the order block and go just down. So we see that it happened. Because of that, I just closed my trade here and just finished my trading day after that. I believe that was last trade on my fund account before I asked them.
The fund,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, very interesting. So from what I understood is that you're looking at the support and resistance levels for the day, and you then analyze the trends, and then you're what was the belief based upon? The belief that it's gonna go up? Was that based upon the Bitcoin movement, or is that based upon some other indicator that could have given you an indication that there is gonna be an uptrend movement upwards?
As you see, that was very volatile days. So it was a lot of liquidity in those days in Bitcoin and in altcoin. And my thoughts about that was because before this situation, we already broke this trend line down here, and make some that was a liquidation of some longs position. So after that, it's more convenient to expect that price will go up, and market maker and traders just want to make sure that shorts will be liquidated too. Of course, it might seem like I'm just wondering if you make your stop losses and if you can just close your deals with little risk. If the price will just go down and not up, if you're in long position, it's not a problem. You can just wait another moment when you will be right. Because risk management can be 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5, 1-to-2, 1-to-3. And exactly in this trade, my risk was 1-to-3. So I was ready to close my trade in minus $200, and I was expecting that I will close it to plus $600 if it will take it. So it was really safe for me just to expect that price will go up but not down. And the Bitcoin order block in the low line was really, really strong. I believe in that. Yeah.
Okay, Nick, thank you very much for sharing this knowledge. I bet it's going to be useful to other traders within Mubite and outside of Mubite as well. Hopefully, we can get to a more interesting part of what you've actually talked about already, which has been your psychology. And for me, why I say it's more interesting, because obviously whatever you draw on the chart has a lot of meaning. It is very important for whatever strategy you use. And obviously strategy is everything. But at the end of the day, strategy without execution and just controlled mindset and psychology is nothing, right? So you can trade, you can trade up, down, whatever you want to trade, whatever strategy. But if you're not psychologically in the right headspace, then everything's going to go to zero. So one thing I'd like to know is how does your mindset and discipline shape the way you trade? So especially under pressure, when you know that you're like one trade from getting into funded account and then having the ability to actually make some money from trading full time with Mubite, and how does your mindset shape the trading, and what that does with your discipline?
So as people said, all the genius things is simple. I believe that no one will get their wealth in the crypto industry or in trading overall without the discipline. But what is discipline is about having strong inside you, strong meaning inside you. Because if you live in future, if you really scared to face the future, if you want everything that you expected to get today, it will lead you to be greedy in trading. And greedy will lead you to not fixing your stop losses. It will lead you to trying overseed the downs. And after that, maybe you will be lucky to make some money, but on the long distance, you will fail eventually. And absolutely everyone who trade more than 3 years know that, because first year just wash out the 90% of the people. And the second year washed out other 5% of the percent that will be. So the 5% of the people that still here know that they've got this really painful experience through the losses. And if after these losses, man can or woman can just make sure that I'm not afraid of my future and I believe in myself, and I just need to be disciplined and every day just doing what I know that I need to do. I need to do what is correct, what is proper in trading, not what I wish to do. Because I wish to just go to futures and go to 100,
X leverage,
100 X leverage on the brand, and be happy. But Well, it won't work.
Wouldn't we all want that?
Yeah. It won't work. It won't work like that. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
So the discipline that you need to know is that you need to work every day, and you need to be ready to lose some money every day. Because if you're not ready to, you will not reach your wealth in the crypto.
I think you're spot on with being having that approach of like simplicity is the core rule, and obviously as you mentioned just making sure not to become greedy whenever you're going up is I think it's very tough for any kind of trader, because it's just whenever you're in the green numbers you're reluctant to closing that position because you think it might go higher. Whenever you're in losses, you're reluctant to again closing the position in loss because you think that's not materialized loss yet. So yes, as you say, having your stop losses ready, having your stop losses being hit is okay. It's part of trading. And if the strategy is not working, you'll move on. But those losses will be controlled. But the biggest losses in trading, and as you already proposed, is whenever you don't stick to this and you lose more than you can afford. And that's exactly what we at Mubite are trying to kind of avoid. And then cryptocurrency trading is even worse than I think in Forex, because in Forex nowadays, to be honest, like in Forex, if there is a big move, you need to leverage it big time, but then also like, do big moves happen there? Can they really be analyzed? It's so liquid. The market goes to the right most of the time. So, it's even worse in crypto. So seeing you approach your work at this level and seeing how much of calm-mindedness you take towards your trading, how would you then advise in like simple 1-2 sentences a Mubite trader or any crypto trader in the world to think about the execution of a single trade?
You can believe that you right in your expectancy or expectation about the price moving, but you will never know. It's just market is so big, so you will never know exactly what will happen. And what brings you wealth on the distance is just mathematics. Use mathematics, use proper approach, and try to off all of your emotions while you are working.
And is there any like materials, ebooks, books, blogs that you believe genuinely help new traders succeed?
I cannot advise some books because some that I've read wasn't really helpful because it was not about something special. But my research was only in internet. Today we have a great opportunity to find the information, not only because AI, but because community is so big, and though there is so many people that will scam you, there is a lot of people that just chasing their dreams and trying to give you some useful information. And of course I use Telegram, of course I use Reddit, and there is so much good information about what's going on in crypto. If you will bring it 2 hours of your life every day, after 1 or 2 years, you will be so far away in knowing what is crypto. So you will be specialist. You cannot trade. You can just advise your friends how to bring their money in crypto and have passive income, and you can just make it worth like you are a specialist.
Okay.
I believe in that. Yeah.
And finally, if you could give just one piece of advice to any Mubite trader watching this, what would it be?
Appreciate the rules, because the rules of Mubite is the thing that will bring you to opportunity to become a good trader. Because when you're not trading with your own, for example, 50,000, but it's a challenge account, you have a bold demand that it's not more than 3% on one trade, it's not more than 5% daily drawdown. You need to make a good consistency, you need to get funded score. It will be easy to you to understand how to be a proper, not emotional, but mathematically strict player in this game.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Nick. Now let's move to the payout. So if you could shoot me your USDC address.
So it's Ethereum, yes?
USDC ERC20, yeah?
Yeah. Ethereum blockchain, I meant. So may I have a question?
Yeah, go on.
So is that will be refund of my first payment? Because I saw on the side that my base account, yeah. Okay.
We'll add it to it. We just need to figure out how much that was.
Thank you.
Do you remember from top of your head how much that was? For
Yeah, I can see it on my screen. It's 359.20.
Okay, so we'll add that to the total. So all in all, that would be with your refund. Let me check. So it'd be $2,812. Okay, is that sounds does that sound right?
I think
$2,812.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, Nick. So I'm approving your payout right now. I've just sent it over to you. So the 2,814 is on your way on its way
Appreciate it a lot. Appreciate it.
to you. Should be right here. Oh, okay. Anyways, you're able to see it. Oh, it's right here. So you set up. Your account has been reset back to trading.
Wow.
So thank you very much for being part of Mubite. Thank you very much for this interview. And yeah, we'll hope to see you next time.
I'm really hoping to, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm so happy today, man. I was really, really nervous about my first interview, and I think I just can't believe right now that it's happening. It's a really a great opportunity. I thank you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you very much, Nick. You have a good one.
Thank you.